Welcome to yet another episode on We Need to Talk podcast by Gather Now Network. In today's episode, I have a friend who is far away from me, but we're going to have a holistic conversation about what she's doing, where she is. She's going to tell us who she is, what she does, and basically why she's on a podcast today. Casper, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you, Amma. Thank you for having me on this podcast. I'm really happy to be here and grateful. I don't take it for granted.
For someone who's just clicked on this podcast and they don't know you, or they're just seeing you for the first time, they're hearing you for the first time, how best would you explain yourself to them?
Basically, my name is Omgisha Casper Grace, and I identify myself as a writer. I've embarked on my journey as a writer, and currently I'm based in United Arab Emirates. To be specific, currently in Dubai.
Dubai, that's where rich people are. Everyone is running to Dubai. Every business is going to Dubai. So what's in Dubai?
It's an amazing city. I would say a city of everything. Everything is there.
I mean, how did you end up in Dubai? Because you're Ugandan. I know a lot of Ugandans I have a lot of friends who are in Dubai. But you yourself, how did you end up in Dubai?
Coming to Dubai, it was a personal decision. Previously in Uganda, I was teaching at Fort Portal Secondary School. That is English language and literature. But with the coming of COVID and all that, I decided to relocate to Dubai to try out something new. And I eventually liked the place.
Yeah.
And I actually love the place. Yeah.
Why are you leaving our Uganda? Our Uganda is peaceful. It's beautiful.
I'm actually not leaving Uganda for good. At least every year I'm in Uganda. Every year. Yeah. Once I always get a vacation for a month. So every 30 days I'm in Uganda. So it's close. It's not far away from home.
I think that's you don't have to forget about us in Uganda because I mean we're good people. Yeah. So even 1 month might not be enough for us. You should come like for a whole maybe 6 months, and you're like, yep. For the next 6 months, I'm back home.
That would be great, but
yeah.
yeah.
But what have you been grateful for recently in your life?
Currently, I've been grateful for the gift of life, and I would say the desire to continue writing. Because when I look at the first months of this year, everything was going on so well. Then out of the blue, from this side, everyone is scared with the coming of the war. Then we don't know what next. But it helped me pause a bit, and I had to say, to think like the gift of life is something that we take it for granted. You just wake up in the morning, you know that it's a routine. I have to wake up, prepare myself, go to work, or maybe go somewhere. But with the coming of the war, now you have to think about your life. Am I safe? So currently, I would say I'm really grateful for the gift of life, but everything is back to normal. But it helped me pause a bit, and I'm really grateful for it.
How did you navigate that fear? How did you navigate the fear of the war? Because that was quite intense. Like, knowing my neighbor is fighting and, cups might fall over into my room anytime. How did you navigate that?
Actually, I'm really so grateful for United Arab Emirates because the leadership is really so good. It keeps you at peace, and the security. The messages were coming in every minute, like you feel free, you're safe, communicate. If something is going to happen, the leadership actually held us together and they protected us like their own. It is, we felt part of part of the country that we're actually not born into. They treated us like their own. And it was like in the United Arab Emirates, we are all like nationals, but we are residents, but we really felt at home. Everyone was protected, and it really gave us a sense of belonging and a sense of comfort. I would attribute it to the good leadership.
Wow. How do we get that good leadership back? That's a tough question, but I think I should ask it. How do we get that good leadership back home in Uganda?
About leadership in Uganda. Anyway, I appreciate the leadership in Uganda, but
it has its...
that's a story for another day.
It has its holes, eh?
I don't have much to say about the leadership in our country.
It's last time, I think sometime back, I had Wanda JR on the podcast, and he said, for us Ugandans, we are so much in vibes, you know, like we always in vibes, forgetting that we're being, you know, strung along. But we're like in vibes, you know. So that's we. Not until someday we shall wake up and we are like, oh my God, what are we doing?
I pray that day comes soon.
Yeah. As Caspar in the UAE, you know, we've started from UAE, like your life in UAE, but someone watching would like to know how your life was in Uganda before you left UAE. You hinted on it that you were teaching in Fort Portal. I didn't know you're teaching in Fort Portal. Do you know how to speak Rutoro?
Yeah, sure. Empako yanga kiki.
A younger mod. Not a mod. No, not a mod. A mod. Mom calls herself a mod. A younger Ateng.
Tateng.
Yeah. Tamo. What was the Mpako?
Akik.
Takik.
Tateng. My rhetoric is disappearing.
But before you coming or going to UAE, you briefly mentioned that you were teaching in Fort Portal. What else were you doing? What was your life like? How was Caspar growing up? What was her life like while growing up?
I think I lived a normal life like any Ugandan, going through school, nursery, and then primary, then to secondary, and then going to the university. I studied a bachelor's degree in arts with education, majoring in English language and literature. And later on, I did my internship at Kawanda Secondary School along Bombo Road. After that, I started teaching at Fort Portal Secondary School. I was basically teaching, and maybe this passion for teaching is what led me to start writing. I used to write before, even when I was in high school, but casually, not seriously, like I am doing right now. And it was a normal life, teaching, getting to interact with the students, and then also writing here and there casually and not professionally, I would say.
So teaching is quite a profession in Uganda, and you know, as a young woman teaching in Uganda, that was quite an experience. How would you describe it?
Teaching in Uganda was really amazing. Actually, teaching is something I like, and maybe one day I hope to get back to it. But the only challenge that I faced is I think teachers are not prioritized enough, and it makes it challenging because the students look at you as a source of their inspiration. The students look at you as their role model, and you also have to help them achieve their different goals and aspirations here and there. I think the government needs to do better when it comes to teaching, to
Yeah.
empowering the teachers, maybe motivating them. Because we realize most teachers who are able to leave the profession, they are leaving not because they want to leave or they are tired of teaching, or and now even actually the curriculum, the current curriculum is okay. I actually appreciate the government for embarking onto the new curriculum, but it's much better compared to the one that I was actually taught when I was back in school. This one is more practical compared to the previous one, which was more theoretical.
Yeah. You know, my sister, when she comes back home and she's trying to explain to me what she's doing at school in terms of like the report, the reports and they break them, I honestly just look at it and I don't know what's happening, because the new curriculum, I don't understand anything on it. It makes me feel like I last went to school 10 years ago, and yet it's been just like, what, 3 years?
New curriculum is really amazing. At least
Yeah.
it helps the learners get to know themselves. They don't do much of the theory, I would say. I got an opportunity maybe before relocating to United Arab Emirates. I got the opportunity to teach using the new curriculum for a few months before I left. But it was amazing.
Yeah. Where were you teaching? Were you teaching in Kampala as well? Or you just teaching Fort Portal?
In my internship, I taught in Kampala, but Kawanda, I think, is it in Kampala or Wakiso? Kawanda Secondary School. Maybe I also did my second internship. My first internship, I did it in Kawanda Secondary School. I did it at Kawanda Secondary School. And then the second one, it was at Uganda St. Kizito High School, Namugongo.
So what made you leave teaching? What made you, throw away the towel and you're like, you know what? This is not working. I'm done with teaching. Let me explore other fields.
It was a personal decision. I just wanted to relocate and try out something new, adventure, and maybe green pastures, something like that. Because with the teaching, I think the finances were low. Then
they weren't making any sense.
I think they couldn't sustain me. That was actually the major aspect that made me make this decision. And I'm like, no, I have to think about something else.
Well, so you left teaching. When was that? Which year was that?
That was in 2022.
So 2022, you're like, I'm done. I'm packing my bags. I'm back to, no, I'm not back. I'm going to UAE.
Yes.
Tell me about that first moment you landed in UAE. How was it? Do you have any vivid memories about it?
I have the best memories about it because when I was coming to the United Arab Emirates, I was very anxious. It was my first international flight. It was actually going to be the first time I'm leaving the country. Unfortunately for me, I had someone here. I had a close friend, Natwera Monique. So everything, I didn't struggle in anything. She booked the ticket. She booked. She made for me she applied for my visa and everything. The only struggle I had was to show up. My family and my friends, they took me to the airport. Then in Uganda, then Monique picked me from the airport. Yeah, so it was a smooth journey for me. The only thing I remember, I couldn't sleep. The sun was too much. The following day, I just wanted to go to Dubai Mall to see Burj Khalifa.
Right. It's always a nice experience going to a new city and starting over. Like, Sometimes people just get afraid of, stepping out of that shell, you know. But I believe once you step out of that shell sometimes and you believe that, okay, what's out there for me is an adventure, is another life that I need to explore, it becomes fun.
Yeah.
What's the hardest decision that you have had to take as an African woman in today's world? Like, what's that one decision that you feel like this was really hard?
Um, I think that part of relocating, it might not be a hard decision, but live, getting to decide that I want to stop teaching, I was, it is I think it's a decision that that I've actually done, and I spent like a couple of months thinking about it. You know, when you're teaching, it's like you have the students you're teaching, they become your children. They become your children. And as I think parents can relate, you wake up and then you're going to leave your children behind, going somewhere. So to me, leaving the students behind and leaving the students behind, then telling them that I'm leaving, it was something that I found a bit hard, and emotionally, I felt a bit guilty. I had candidates I was mentoring. I was teaching. I had a candidate class. They were going to sit for their senior six exams, but it was first term. It was like I was leaving them in the middle of nowhere. But still, I had to move on. Yeah.
That must have been tough. Really. Were you in a relationship when you're leaving?
Yeah, I was.
How did that conversation go?
Um, it was a conversation that didn't go well because when I was planning my movements to relocate, I did them as an individual.
Oh my god.
As an individual,
Oh my
then I had to
god.
tell the person in the last minute.
Last day?
I think 2 days before.
Oh my
And then
god.
the person was like, "No, this is a joke." I'm like,
You're just
"Seriously?"
kidding. Yeah, you're not serious. You're just playing with my heart right now, or my feelings right now. It's like no, 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 no. I think you're just pranking me right now.
So, because I think we had different goals. So, yeah, I had to put myself first. That's what I would say.
Did they
Because maybe they were
survive?
going to limit me. They're like, maybe I don't know, I would consider if I had informed them before making my plans or during the process, there could have been a hindrance. Maybe, I don't know. But that was the reason as to why I thought about myself first.
You're like, in 2 days, I'll just throw it into their vicinity and their life, and they will deal with it, and I'll be out of here. Oh my god, did they survive?
Yeah,
Or you
they
don't know?
did.
You're like, I did my part and I left, so I don't wanna know. I don't wanna know whatever they're going through or whatever they went through.
I care about people and their feelings. I explained
Yeah.
to them. I don't know whether they took it in good or bad faith, but that was it.
Yeah. Now I ask this because relocating is not the same as visiting. Visiting, there is hope of coming back because you're just visiting. But relocating is like, okay, I've packed my 2 bags, my 3 bags. When I'm coming back, I'm just visiting. I'm not coming back to stay. I'm just visiting. So the reason why I'm asking this is because there are very many people that are in your life that you care about whenever you have like such a decision. One, your family, then two, your kid, not the kids, the school kids, basically, yeah, school students, the ones that you're mentoring during their senior for classes. But three, also there's that person that is in your life whenever that decision was happening. So all those, things moving around there, those are very many variables. And for me, it brings me to a conversation about uh decision making in life. Like, when do you know that you're making the right decision?
I think before you make any decision, you need to pause about it. Personally, for me, when I'm going to make a decision, I don't make it out of the blue. I relocated in 2022, but from 2020, that's when the idea of relocating came into my mind. So I had to put it into writing. I like writing. I always have a journal and then somewhere to write. So I wrote it down and told myself I was going to relocate. That is the decision I was going to make. So I believe putting the decision into writing and then praying about it. First, I put it into writing, then I pray about it. Am I going to make the right decision? Am I going to make a wrong decision or not? So I also give it time. I don't rush it. Then that way, I am able to make a correct decision. I look at the advantages and the disadvantages. Then I have to weigh which one weighs more, the advantages or the disadvantages. So writing it down, praying about it, and then looking at the advantages and the disadvantages helps me make a decision.
I think that's a very good way of looking at it, because decision making, especially when it comes to like life changing moments, is like one of the most difficult thing to do, especially like now in young adults that we have like a split of seconds, with our attention. Like, you're thinking about something, just something just comes and covers you over, and then within a few seconds you have another thing that's coming. Like, we're not focused. So writing it down something, I think it's very, very important. And I guess that's why we're going to talk about later on, like in the coming few minutes, about your can I call it a book? I mean, I've read it, but I think it's more of a journal.
Yeah, it's a journal.
Yeah, it's a journal, because whenever I was reading, I remember I would have like space where I would write whatever I've read about. We will talk about that later on. Yeah. So Dubai and the life in Dubai. One thing that I've heard, tell me if it's true or wrong, it's hard to get citizenship in Dubai. They don't give out citizenships, right?
Actually, that is, I think, one of the things that most people find hard about Dubai, because after every 2 years, then you have to renew your stay in the country. But there are other opportunities for people who would want to have a longer term, a longer stay, rather, not a longer term, a longer stay here. We've had people being awarded, let's say, 10 years residence permit and all that, depending on that. But generally, Dubai, it is a city that keeps us on our toes. It pushes you to work harder. It pushes you to think bigger, not just living like for today. I eat, I sleep, I'm getting my payment, all this. But you really have to think hard. I would say Dubai is not for the weak. But it's at the end of the day, it's a very good place. At the end of the day, the government, the system, and everything is organized.
What's the most beautiful memory you have in Dubai right now, ever since you moved there?
One thing I like about Dubai, I think it has made me an independent woman compared back to when I was in Uganda. In Uganda, you wake up, your family is there for you, your friends are there for you. But when you're here in Dubai, it made me independent, and it also made me stronger. The Waganda call it a change. When I came to this place, I would say I had a lot of change in me. Staying here, you have to think about yourself more. So it has made me more independent. I think that is one of the things I like more about this place, and yeah, that is it.
Is there something that you feel like it should change right now?
Not really.
Oh, everything is perfect. Wow. Someone should think about going to Dubai.
And actually, right now, I'm just focused on developing my writing career, looking at how I can become a more professional writer, juggling between my work and then also my career, something that I love, and that is writing. At the moment, that's what I'm focused on so much.
Yeah. Okay. Let's speak about the writing. You have a journal. Tell us about this journal.
Okay. My journal is it holds a lot of memories, and I think it's not a common writing when it comes to the Ugandan literature. Or the books that have been published in Uganda. It is it is a special kind of publication. I decided to look at the things that people go through in their daily lives. I believe every day comes in a different way, and people need maybe something to motivate them, something to impart hope in them. And that is how I came up with Shreds of Hope. It is a journal that has 366 quotations. The reader also has space where they can write what they are thinking, or what they plan to do, or what they think about a given quotation.
That's so interesting, because saying it's a very different kind of writing or literature in Uganda. What kind of literature do we have in Uganda, if you might say?
The literature in Uganda is not. It doesn't differ from the literature in the world or in the other parts of the world, because literature is one. I think because literature is one. It goes through drama, poetry, and prose. But when I would say the form of writing I used in Shreds of Hope is a journal, where like a diary, like someone gets their own. The normal journals we've had these empty journals without quotations, but Shreds of Hope is a different form of writing that I consider journaling. Yeah.
Shreds of Hope. That's quite a unique title for the journal. What inspired it? Shreds of Hope.
Inspired me. It is Shreds of Hope has it holds a dear place in my heart, and the decision to start my writing career, or to make it professional, or to publish my work, and I decided to start with the journal. Actually, I had a novel before. I was writing the novel before I wrote Shreds of Hope. And what motivated me to write the journal and put it out there is I found a journal that my mother had written, my late mother. My mother is late. I would say may her soul rest in peace. But she was writing. It was just a normal diary. She was writing about her life. She was communicating. So when I looked, like growing up, I was like, at least I'm getting information from the from directly from the person. Yeah, she wrote everything with her pen, maybe with her feelings. So I was able to read through what she was going through, and I thought to myself, maybe this could also help someone out there. And I decided to make it as a form of writing, and that actually led to the birth of Shreds of Hope. And initially, I had wanted to call it Timeless Quotations, because it just has quotations. And for someone, the first time maybe when they get a book, they'll be like, these are just quotations. These are just quotations. So looking at that, I had wanted to call it Timeless Quotations, but thinking and that also talking to the publisher. It was published by Desha Publishers. So we decided to change the title to Shreds of Hope, but initially it was supposed to be Timeless Quotations. But when I gave it Shreds of Hope, it goes back to the inspiration. When I read my mother's writings, it gave me a bit of hope. And then that's why I put a quotation and also left some space for the reader to also write their feelings. They can write what their feelings, or they can choose to write about their day-to-day activities. Okay, this day I'm going to do this. Maybe this quotation has inspired me in this way or motivated me in this way. So it was to the readers. It's a gift from me to the readers. Yeah.
Nice. That's so cute. That's so nice of you. Can reflection really heal or motivate you to become better in life? Because if you're writing or if you're reading this book and it's a journal basically, and then you're noting down something, that's a form of reflection as well.
Sure.
Do you think it's something that young adults should pick up to become better versions of themselves?
Sure, I would actually recommend it to. I think Shreds of Hope is a book it's a journal that is open to all ages, because I believe even someone who is in secondary, let's say Form 1, if they also get to have the book, the journal, they'll actually love it. I have a colleague who teaches at Nyakasura School. He was helping me supply the journal. He was telling me, if students have come, they really want to buy your book. I was like, no, now since they are students, just give them the books for free if they are offering literature. So getting the positive feedback from the readers and the interest, it actually shows me that the journal is open to all age brackets.
Where can we find this journal? Where can we, if someone wants to buy this journal or order for it, where can they find it?
The journal is available on my website, caspergwright.com. And in Uganda, I have 3 places. It is in Fort Portal. They can get it from Mole Gift Bookshop, Kabundaire. And in Kampala, there is a supermarket in Chira. My friend has a supermarket, so she offered to have my books in.
That's sweet.
Yeah, sure. And then my number is available on my Instagram page. They can always reach out to me on WhatsApp. Unfortunately, I don't take calls. I'm not able to take calls, but through a WhatsApp message, my email is available. Yeah, I'll be ready to share Shreds of Hope.
That's good. So in case someone wants the book or the journal, Shreds of Hope, you know where to get it. Basically, it's like at your disposal. If you want a physical copy, it's in Kampala at, you've not given us the name, but the supermarket is in Chira.
Extra Safe Supermarket, Chira.
All right. So you had the name of the supermarket. So yeah, that's the journal. Casper, is there anything that we have not talked about that you feel or that you think we should have talked about?
Basically, maybe there are two things that I would want to talk about. That is friendship and communication.
Hey, wow, that's a whole new. Tell me about it then before we go.
I'll try to summarize it in the simplest way. Because when I attach friendship is related to my writing career and all that, and then even communication. Because with my book, I'm able to sell the book even when I'm not in a given place physically, and that is to friendship. I would attribute that to the gift of friendship. And I've been checking through the internet a lot, or you'll find someone saying fake friends, this and this. But to me, I think one should choose people before one goes to think about their friends are not doing this. Maybe their friends are fake. First of all, are you true to yourself as an individual? Do you love yourself?
That's a question.
Because you cannot pour from an empty cup. You have to first fill yourself in before you pour out. And then also maybe call out upon people to also learn how to communicate. If they are to hold the friendships, they should also value communication. Yeah, I think that is it. And yeah, we can go far with friends, with good friendship and good communication. Yeah.
Nice. Wow. Thank you for saying that. I'm glad you brought it up. Wait, before we go, do you believe in love? They asked me that question sometime back on. I don't remember the guest who asked me that question. It was Eve. Yeah. Do you believe in love?
Fortunately for me, I believe in love, and I believe there is.
Why did you say Did you say unfortunately or fortunately?
Fortunately for me.
Oh.
Yeah. Because I've had people say, no, I don't believe in love. So fortunately.
Why? Tell me why. Why do you believe in love?
Because I believe there is someone for every person out there, and maybe the books that I've read. Growing up, I used to read a lot of William Shakespeare, but currently I've not been reading his works. But when you read his books, at least there is an element of love. There is an element of love. So I just believe in the right timing and first pouring into yourself before you pour out. So I think I should first love myself. I believe I should first love myself. Then some other person will also come in and love me. So I believe.
When you put it that way, I think it makes sense. Sometimes when we speak about like love, we tend to go all out on, how's it called? The love between, woman, man, boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife. But there are also different types of love, like, self-love, agape love. Those, what's the love of church?
Agape.
It's agape between like people who like church sister godly love. But I think it has its own also definition. Anyway, we're not love experts here, but it's good that you believe in love.
Yeah, I really believe in it, but my theory is that love starts with self-love, because you have to first love yourself, and then you have a lot of love to give out.
Well, the norm here is whenever the guest comes on the podcast, they leave them a question. So there's a previous guest that left you a question, and the question that was left for you is, when was the moment you were the most afraid?
I think this year, with the coming of the war. The coming of the war, to me, I don't know, it came out of the blue. It got me so scared. Then I started thinking about my family, and the person, it made me realize that I have people who care about me. My people I didn't even expect. They started calling me. They started sending me messages. But I was scared, but I'll tell them, yeah, we are safe. Much as I said that there was leadership, the security, and everything was okay. But as an individual, I paused back a bit, and it made me realize that life can end within a blink of an eye. I've been scared, but this year got me so scared and more afraid. And I started thinking, what will my family think? I was thinking, should I go home? But the airport is closed. You cannot go home.
The airports were closed
during the war.
Yeah.
That was in.
Because the space was busy.
Yeah, that's what I
Do
think.
Do you ever get lonely?
I think I would get lonely at times, but when I have friends that I hold dear to. And I have a friend who has turned into a sister because I don't have any relatives in Dubai, but I have friends. I have friends, so when I feel lonely, I go back to my friends. So I think that bridges the gap.
Yeah, for
of
sure.
loneliness.
Well, what would be your question to the next guest?
The question to the next guest is how do we make the world a better place?
That's a good question. That's really a good question. Well, thank you, Casper, for coming through on We Need to Talk podcast. I hope whoever has been listening has picked something from Casper's conversation or from Casper's story. And yeah, I appreciate you, Casper, for making time on the podcast.
Thank you very much for hosting me. I'm really grateful. I look forward to more
Pleasure's
episodes.
mine. Yeah, we should have a part 2 and part 3 and part 4 and part 5 of such conversations.
That would be great.
Yeah. All right, guys. Remember, you can also give us what your highlight has been if you've been watching all this far. By the fact that you've come this far and you've watched all this far, it means this conversation has, stood with you or has inspired you to watch this far or thus far. So scan this QR code. I think we should just leave it here. Scan this QR code and give us your guest highlight of this episode. Otherwise, we appreciate you for your relentless support, and subscribe to Gather Now Network and We Need to Talk podcast YouTube channels, but you can also follow us on all podcast streaming platforms.